friend, welcome back to our channel. Today I am resuming the very long overdue hoarding closet series on my channel. Let's go ahead and talk about what the project is because it's been so long since I've done this, but essentially I openly have a problem, and that is I tend to mass purchase a lot of backstock items. What has mainly always drove this problem for me is the fact that I like to maximize purchasing things during sales. However, I'm not always very good at managing myself during those sales, or I buy more than I can use in between sales. It used to be, especially for the body care world, a lot easier to have these bookend timestamps of semi-annual sale. But I would say in the last really 3 years, Bath & Body Works has significantly altered their sales system, and there are tons of sales really all of the time. And so I'm no longer in a position where I need to wait for semi-annual sale to purchase about 6 months worth of goods to carry me from one semi-annual sale to another. So I have found, for me, in order to help reel myself in, it has been very helpful over the number of years I've done this to count what I have in what I very lovingly call my hoarding closet of all the items and be very cognizant of that number for those categories. For me, I'm very numbers and goals driven in that sense, where I don't want to have a massive surplus of items. That statement is going to feel very ironic when we talk about the numbers, because as you know, I haven't posted really any content about this, and it's not because I've been keeping stuff behind the scenes and just not talking about it. It's because I've just stopped with the hoarding closet altogether, and that has proven really bad for myself. Even if I wasn't someone who is a content creator, I still think I would need to be copiously counting every 3 months or so to see how much I'm using to really inform myself. Because as you're going to hear in just a couple of minutes, the numbers are really ballooning in certain areas. I have a couple of reasons for why that is outside of not keeping copious track of what's in the hoarding closet. So let's talk about those, and then we'll talk about the actual numbers. So one thing I did not think thoroughly through enough of was I purchased this massive D-stash from a Fortune Cookie Soap fan in one of the Facebook groups that I'm in, Fortune Cookie Soap, where they were simply looking to get a bunch of product out of their collection, and all they were charging was the price of shipping. So I jumped on it. But I didn't really look at all the fine details. I saw a few cents that I was like, oh, even if I only really like a few of these things, that is worth the cost of the shipping this to me. There's nothing else. Like, if nothing else, I will get those products in. However, there was a huge amount of body creams, body lotions mixed into there, and scrubs. So I have been diligently trying to work on the scrub category, but I've been less diligent in other areas. And then on top of this, I still purchased from Bath & Body Works, when really I should have stopped purchasing from Bath & Body Works until I had better gotten a hang of things from that box. I also purchased, I've been a bit more frequent in the exploratory range of Trader Joe's body care. I find that their body care is really pleasant, especially their body butters, body creams, whatever you want to call them. And they tend to just bring things out on a whim. It tends to be very seasonal or just like a one-off limited edition type. So I don't go to Trader Joe's very often, but when I do, if I see something and it catches my eye, I tend to buy it without thinking through of like, okay, even though you might not see the scent again, you don't really need it. And that's where the numbers comes in, because I can sort of lie to myself if I don't have a handle of what the numbers are. So I've gone through, I've counted everything. Some categories are feasible and fine. Other categories are ridiculous, and I really need to take myself to task and reel it in and do a no buy for some categories. And other categories, I think by the end of the 3-month period, I should be much better, as long as I don't buy much or anything in that particular category. So let's go ahead and dive in. So I have currently 16 hand soaps. This traditionally is always a category that I tend to run high with, and that's because I tend to gravitate towards the $2.95, $3.95 hand soap sales that they run, especially when they release a new seasonal collection. So I tend to snap a bunch of those up because I like a lot of the scents, and then I'm good for that season. Right now, I really went ham at a not too recent, because I feel like every 3 weeks they run a hand soap sale now, but when they first let out their spring scents, I bought a bunch of those. Maybe that was around Easter time, so we're talking mid-March, maybe early April, somewhere in there. So now I'm set. That actually might carry me through to the end of summer. I do want to admit to you that there are some summer hand soaps that have caught my eye. I always, whenever I get an email about their hand soap sales, I always do look to see what's new that they've dropped, because it's never just like, oh, we keep doing the same sale and no things have come out in the collections. There's always some drop that goes along with it. And there have been some summer scents that have caught my eye, but I'm trying really hard to avoid and not buy any, so that I can really only have, come the end of the summer, just have like fall winter scents, because I do still have some fall winter scents from last year, to be able to bring that down, because I don't really want to always have 16 plus soaps just looking at me, staring at me, since I at most can only pull out 3 soaps to use, because we keep 1 soap at our kitchen and then we have 2 bathrooms, so we have 1 in each bathroom. So at the most I'm using 3 at a time, and so like mathematically speaking, I could go through that pretty quick as long as I don't keep pulling more and more in. Second large category for me are body scrubs. The majority of those scrubs are Tree Hut. Tree Hut has really, I think, boomed as a company, because I'm noticing now that they are also starting to release seasonal collections. They had a whole floral spring drop that really caught my eye. They had a daisy one, a poppy one. There was a third one in there too. They really are starting to hit more on all the seasons, whereas before it was like they had a couple of summer ones. They'd have like a fall one. They kind of just really had their core line that they just kept pumping out over and over again. Now it's starting to get a little bit more creative, and I tend to just blind buy them, because those are my favorite scrubs. But I also have other scrubs that I've neglected, like my Smoothie Star one. I still have some from Trader Joe's that I'm trying to space those scents out. So I can basically go through 2 scrubs a month, so I can get those done in about 6 months. But still, knowing that I have 6 months of scrubs in the closet is unnecessary. I don't need to have that many, especially when we're talking every 3 or so months, Tree Hut is dropping different collections that intrigue me. So I'm going to want to probably buy a couple of them each time. So I'm going to have to really cool my jets and just work through what I've got. Body wash is at 12. I am pretty okay with that number, if I'm being honest. I have a pocket of rose scents I'm trying to disperse intermittently, so that way I can work through those. And then I have a few appropriately seasonal ones for the summer that I'm looking forward to using. And then I also have some fall scents in there. So I will probably be set to finish up most of the shower gels or body washes that I have by like the December holiday season, which will be a good time for me to pick up some, since I don't really have any winter scents currently in that collection. So hopefully I can stay focused and get those used up. I tend to pull those out 2 at a time. I tend to like to have some variety in my shower, so I can probably whittle through those if I am just focused and don't acquire anymore. Some smaller categories, but categories that frankly I don't want to have any backups of, and that's shampoo and conditioner. I have 2 shampoos and 1 conditioner. Arguably, I could have counted this as a half, but I'm not gonna split hairs. I have a really large Tresemme, like I think a liter sounds like too much, but it's one of those jumbo ones that I found underneath my sink in my bathroom. I have no idea when or how we acquired it, but I have a pump version of a conditioner in the shower. So I've just been pouring that large Tresemme one in there, and it's about halfway gone, but I still counted it as a whole one. And then for shampoos, they're just random ones that I acquired from Fortune Cookie Soap in either a Get What You Get bag or a holiday box that they do. They tend to do a Christmas advent calendar, a Halloween box, and then an Easter box. So I've gotten them from there. So I'm just trying to work through them. They're nothing special. I just am trying to work through what I have. So hopefully by the end of summer, those will also be gone, and I will stop having backups of shampoo and conditioner, because I don't ever really need them. I only really ever buy drugstore shampoo and conditioner, so I'm not really ever waiting for like a sale. I'm not jonesing for a sale to stockpile, because I don't ever buy very expensive conditioner and shampoo. So it is what it is. Then I don't know if this has been a category before, but I have 2 hair masks slash like hair scrubs. I discovered last summer that when we get into hair curling season, which I basically low-key am already in, but I haven't been styling my hair as frequently or even wearing makeup as frequently because I've just been home with Logan. I'm sure once I have Lydia home with me, because I pull her out of daycare for the summer, and so I'll have both of them with me going on adventures, I'm sure I'll get more of a routine of like styling my hair, putting on some light makeup, going out and about into the world. And so I think then I'll really want this, because I found last summer I would get like buildup, like itchy buildup on my scalp. And it was because I don't necessarily wash my hair every single day, even when it is being curled. Because what I'll typically do is I might shower and just rinse my hair and then curl it again. Or if I'm not looking to take a morning shower, I will just rinse my hair and re-wet it and then restyle it. And I'll find that by like the second time I've done that, my scalp just feels like there's just buildup on it. So I started using a scalp scrub last year, about once a week, and it was super nice to bring my scalp back to ground zero. So I have one of those in the closet right now, one that I'm currently using, and then I have the same thing. I have one hair mask and then one that's currently in the shower. So I've got just two in that category. I won't put it together as one like hair care category item. So I've got those in there, and I am anticipating, maybe hoping that I will use up both of those scrub products over the course of this summer, over the course of this season of hair curling. And then if nothing else, I'm hoping that I'll be able to bring in the hair mask that I recently bought from a Fortune Cookie Soap Honey collection that just totally captivated me. I love all the scents that I got from that collection. I'm hoping that I can at least pull that out of the closet and have that be a zero category by the end of the summer. Next up, we have shaving products. I have two currently in the hoarding closet. I use the Fortune Cookie Soap shaver soaps. So what are they called? Whip soaps. Whip soaps. They're the words. Whip soaps, which is basically another way to use as a shaving cream. I switched over to that years ago, and it was majestic. I love it. I swear my legs stay less stubbly and smoother for longer. It's so nice. I don't get razor burn. It's just chef's kiss. Love them so much. So I have two currently, because I tend to, whenever I place an order for Fortune Cookie Soap, I tend to buy one or two of them just because I'm already paying for shipping. So I've got two in there. I'm willing to bet I'll at least pull one of them out over the course of this summer. I tend to do a lot more shaving in the summer than I do any other time of year. Body lotions. I'm actually pretty happy about this. This number might seem high to the average person, but historically for me, this is a pretty reasonable number, and it's currently 8. Which is feasible for me in the summer to use 8 of them up. I will say right now I'm still doing a body cream if I'm doing a nighttime shower, and during the day, if I take a morning shower, I'm using a body lotion. But as we get deeper into the month of June, I will probably make the switch fully to just using body lotions, because I don't necessarily want that thicker feeling at night this time of year. I live in a very humid climate, and so I just don't like feeling sticky, or like I don't like feeling as the products aren't really absorbing fully into my skin. So I'll probably make the switch to lotions at that point and then whip through them, because again, much like shower gels, I like to have 2 lotions out at a time. I just kind of switch off on scent so I don't get bored of any particular scent, and they move pretty fast once I'm using them full time. So I'm very happy about that category. It is nice to know that there's a light at the end of the tunnel, because I don't really like to use those body lotions any other time besides late spring through summer, and then maybe the early parts of fall, depending on how warm it is. Okay, but here's where it gets really bad, and this is the body creams. I have 19 body creams. That is cuckoo bananas, unnecessary, way too many. The nice part is that the majority of them aren't huge tubs. So a lot of times the ones Fortune Cookie Soap are, I think, the like 5 to 6 ounce range. That's not a ton compared to a Trader Joe's one, which I think is maybe 10 ounces. And it's, I think, less than the bottles of body creams that Bath & Body Works sells. The majority of what is in that 19 category are those Fortune Cookie Soap ones, and they come from that box I got. There were a ton of their whipped creams in there, which I didn't fully realize. I'm not unhappy about it in the sense of I've liked a lot of the scents. I do like that product from them. It was just the sheer volume. I didn't realize what I was taking in on top of the other ones I already had and then proceeded to purchase. I did make a concerted effort to whip through a bunch of Bath & Body Works ones. So I only have 3 right now from Bath & Body Works, and those are very much fall scents for me. So I'm not looking to use them. I do have some from Trader Joe's that I could be using this summer, and some Fortune Cookie soap that are seasonally appropriate for this time of year. So I am trying to pull those out and use them at night just to kind of make a dent in that number. I would love to see that number be more around the like 13, 14-ish. I'd like it to be even smaller than that, but realistically, if I want to get those body lotions used up, I then can't also be using all those body creams. I don't have enough body to do all of that with. So I'm hoping if I can at least shave it down by a few, it'll feel much better coming into the fall. Curling hair products, I have 4. I decided to include this. I don't normally include this category, at least I don't think I have in the past, because it tends to be a category that I take a bunch in for the summer hair curling season, and then I tend to deplete them before I buy any more, and I don't tend to carry them over after the summer season. I tend to get through all of them, but I wanted to know if that would actually be true, because this past, I want to say it was maybe winter. It was not the seasonally appropriate time, but Ulta was running a sale, a pretty good sale on the Eva NYC, which is my second preferred hair curling spray. And so I bought a few of them, and then Sephora back in April, March, somewhere in there, did their VIB sale. So I bought a few of the wave sprays, which I love the most, but they're like ungodly expensive for how quickly I use them up. So I was thinking, like, let's just see if this gets depleted and at what point it does. I'd be really curious to know about that. I feel like 4 gets me to end of July. If I'm being honest, I have 2 right now that I have in the drawer, and then I've got 4 in the closet. So I've got 6 in my life. And so I think 6 will probably be depleted by the end of July if I really am doing my hair on a nearly daily basis, which is what I tend to do in the summer. And then parts of September, depending on how hot and humid September is, I tend to have to style my hair that way as well. So I'm sure that those will be gone by the end, but I'm curious. I'm just very curious to see if I'm projecting correctly. Face wash, I have 5, which is also obnoxious. I basically have most of my staple face washes that I love, which is the Kiehl's Deep Pore Clay, one that I love, and then the one from Youth to the People. There it is, Topium Youth to the People. I basically bought during the last, back in the fall, the last Ulta 21 Days of View that they ran, they had that. So I bought 2 there, and I've since used 1. And then at Christmas, the Youth of the People once again brought out their Christmas kit that had, I want to say, a full size and 2 minis, something like that. So I bought that with my VIB discount, which was lovely because that's something that's expensive, and then the kit was discounted plus the discount with the VIB. It was great. But I've been switching off between that face wash and something else because I can't continuously use the same face wash back to back. My skin just tends to adapt to it too quickly, and then it's less effective, which is just arguably the worst. So I've been switching on and off. I actually just finished off the Kiehl's one, and now I have 2 different face washes going in my shower versus in my vanity sink. And once I get one of those done, I'll probably pull in the Youth of the People one. And then when the one for my shower goes, I'll bring in the Kiehl's one. So I think that I'm going to have that collection for a little bit longer than I would like. But I feel like in this particular case, since I'm somebody who is okay, like to an extent, I'm okay spending more money on a cleanser, but then this is why I'm more prone to buy them when they go on sale, because it does make them more reasonably priced. I do think if those continue to be on sale like they are, I will be hard pressed to pass them up because I do like saving bucks on those kinds of things. For bar soaps, I have 7, which is super necessary. to have 7 bar soaps. But similar to shampoo and conditioner, this is something that I've acquired from Orchard Cookie Soap. Just whenever I tend to get an order from them, whether it's a seasonal holiday box or you get bag, I always tend to get a bar soap. So I will be working through them. I also, out of norm, received some soaps this past year as like random little gifts. So I do have some from that as well. I can't remember the last time I intentionally bought a bar soap. So those are all things that I've just sort of amassed in that way, and I will work through them. Oh, this is another bad category. I don't like how high this is, and that's face moisturizer. I have 9. What fueled this? This happened during my first pregnancy as well, which was much of the moisturizers that I had in the closet were not deemed pregnancy safe, or it was unclear if they were pregnancy safe. So I just erred on the side of caution. This is a question that came up in my first pregnancy, which was, how did I learn this, or would I do a video about this? And I decided not to go that route because I just used a website. I think it's called 15 Minute Beauty. I'll link it down below. It to me was very reputable. I used my own judgment, but I used that as my landing spot for both pregnancy safe skincare and nursing safe, because I am currently nursing. And so many of those moisturizers I can use while nursing. I just, in the meantime of being pregnant, purchased other things that were safe. So I just will need to make an effort to start to pull those out as I use stuff up. The nice thing about skincare and moisturizers is that it's a pretty consistent, like I can work through them, pull things out. I use a different moisturizer in the morning versus at night, again, for that same adaptability problem that I have with my skin. So I can technically pull those out 2 at a time. So I'm hoping that that number is down to like 6, if not 5 by the end of summer. I'm hoping that I can like work my way through some of those things and just be able to deplete them before they expire, because that could very well happen for those products. All right, I think the last 3 categories are new categories that I just wanted to bring in for more transparency and also holding myself accountable. The first one is cleansing balms. Ooh, I love to try a cleansing balm. I also love to snag my favorite cleansing balms when they are on sale. So I currently have 3. That is not a significant number per se, but right now I want to make sure I'm very aware of that number because I'm not wearing makeup every single day. So I'm not using a cleansing balm every single day. When I am, I can whip through those numbers, no problem. But I don't want to, as sales and things might arise around the holidays and stuff, I don't want to be continuing to buy more and more cleansing balms when I'm not burning through them as much this summer. So I want to pump the brakes on that, work through what I have, and hopefully by the end of summer, this will not be a category anymore because I will have finished those off and will be feeling good. I also have pocket backs. Yes, pocket backs are now their own category. 12. I have 12 of them. That is tomfoolery. What ended up happening for why I have 12 is I hosted a group of people at my house, and I had pocket backs as like little like gifts, and a lot of people didn't take them with them. So I just kept them. I just had them in the closet. And at the same time, I had purchased some for myself that I was like, oh, I actually like these scents. I want to keep these for me. These are like my little party favor. But then not everyone took their party favor. So I was left with a bunch of them. So we're just working through. Plus this winter when they brought out Tree Farm and Balsam Fir, I just like got my little gobbly hands on them because I love those scents as pocket backs. I didn't need to buy pocket backs at that point, but I just love seasonal scents. So I grabbed those and that became my priority. So I'm now starting to pull those other ones out. And as long as I don't buy anymore, and I would say, in truth, minus the Tree Farm, Balsam Fir, and Fresh Cut Lilacs. Those are like the 3 loves. I don't really seek out pocket backs and buy them that frequently unless I use one up and then I get another one. So I probably won't have a problem not buying any. It just happened to be unfortunate that I amassed all of those at once. Finally, hand creams. This has been a category that dips up and down, but I have 3 in the hoarding closet, so I thought it was worth making note that I have them in there so that way I can not buy any more. I did buy those 3 all at once. They ran a hand cream sale and they had Love, which is rose vanilla, big fan. And they had, what is it called? At the Sea. Out at the Sea. I don't know. It's one that I'm currently obsessed with. I keep loving that scent seasonally. So I also grabbed that as a hand cream. So I have 3 and I just haven't finished the one that I'm currently working on. Those are so much smaller than the one that I'm currently using. So I'm sure once I pull them out, they'll start to get used up really quickly. I do, even though it's much warmer and muggier at this point in the year, still apply a hand cream at night just to help with the general like wear and tear of my hands. Having a newborn and having a toddler, I do a lot of hand washing. So everyone's dirty and germy all the time. So my hands do still need that little extra zhuzh to keep them going at night, especially overnight. Like that overnight healing will be really helpful for me. So I'm sure that that number will probably be done by the end of summer. There you have it. Those are all the numbers in each category. In total, it brings us to 118 items in the closet, which, if memory serves, is the highest it has been in quite some time. And so it's really helpful that I've done this and I've documented it. I am planning on every 3 months counting and doing what I did last time, which is giving you the final number, but also looking at the plus and minus in each category. I'm really hoping that the number will be below 100 come the end of August when I'm planning on making the next count, and that in the majority of categories I have more decreases than I have things brought in. It's a double-edged sword. It's not a perfect system. I am working through it. The semi-annual sale is starting soon for Bath & Body Works, and so that is always tempting. But the last couple of summer semi-annual sales, I've done a pretty good job resisting, so I'm hoping that that mantra can stay the same this time. But as always, I will now show you what the hoarding closet currently looks like. So let's go ahead and pop into that. Hello and welcome to the current hoarding closet situation. Let me pan you into the more specific areas. So we have right here skincare and bar soap. Over here, we've got all of my hand soaps. Down in this particular section, we've got an interesting smorgasbord of things like some cleansers, shampoo, conditioner, and some shave products. Then we get over to this particular area right here, and we've got all of the lotiony products. Down here, I have my shower gels, and down here, we've got the overflow situation of body creams, and then we also have body scrubs. If you're thinking to yourself, why am I not putting those things in there? It's because I typically have candles in there. So that's the current state of my hoarding closet. Well, we've tackled it all. Thank you so much for being here. Hopefully you're happy to have the Hoarding Closet series be reintroduced back on the channel. And I always appreciate you cheering me on as I work through the items in here. And I will definitely update you at the end of August. But I'll catch you later in my next video real soon. Bye.